Welcome students to the second session of the poem An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum. In the previous session we had done two stanzas. The first stanza depicted the children, how emaciated, how ill-fed, how malnourished they were. Their faces were far away from gusty waves, and three children were described whose basic necessities were not properly fulfilled. The three basic necessities of food, clothes and shelter. And the irony was that these children dream of the basic necessities. Then we came to stanza 2, which described their classroom, which according to looks was like any other classroom with four things there, properly decorated, everything was there. But the irony was that these four things did not match their pathetic condition. And their living condition, their world is what? A narrow street with a lead sky, far away from rivers, scapes, and stars of words. That is where we had completed stanza 2. Now we come to stanza 3, which shows the reality, and that is the ugly underbelly of any civilized city. We see the civilized city with huge tall buildings, but the underbelly is in the form of the slums, which are the illegal settlements, and life in a slum is so pathetic. So let us see the lines. Surely Shakespeare is wicked. The same Shakespeare, the king of literature, becomes wicked for them because these children can never understand and appreciate his literature with an empty stomach. So the same Shakespeare, the king of literature, whose portrait is hanging there in the slum classroom, becomes wicked for these children. The map a bad example. How can a map be a good example when these children can never locate their slum on the map? Slum is an illegal settlement and it is never shown on the map. So the children feel cheated and the same map becomes a bad example for them. What is present in these two things? Ships, sun, love. If you read Shakespeare's literature, sun has been mentioned, love has been mentioned, then in fact ships have been mentioned, and in the map we see sun. So all these things are what? These things, instead of proving a good example for them, start to tempt them. Tempt them for what? It starts to tempt them to get a life like this. These people also want, after looking at all these things, they also want a life like this, which has been shown in Shakespeare's drama. Can they get this life through correct methods? No. So these people try to steal a life for themselves also, such life which has been shown here. But in turn, what is the irony again? They get a life where they wriggle like worms in congested places, and their life begins from darkness and ends in darkness. See the lines which have been mentioned here. Shakespeare is wicked, the map a bad example, with ships, sun and love tempting them to steal for lives that slyly turn in cramped holes. Slyly cunning, cramped holes, congested places. These people try to get such a life for themselves, but in turn their life is so cunning that they don't get this life and they get a life where they live in congested places, cramped holes, congested places where they wriggle like worms. Can you say this is a life? This isn't. Where you see the pathetic condition of the slum, the sewage, the drainage and all, we have read in chapter number 2 also, Lost Spring. This is the condition of the slum. So these people, they want to get a good life for themselves, which has been shown in map and Shakespeare's drama. What do they get is a life which is so cunning, which never ends, and they wriggle like worms in congested places. And the next thing, on their slack, but there's one more line which has been mentioned, from fog to endless night. Fog, darkness, endless night, a darkness which never ends. That shows that their life begins from darkness and ends in darkness. They want to get such a life, but they never get, and it is this, that forever there is darkness and the world is bleak, completely bleak for them. Then again, one more point that is there. When you look at the children, they seem to be what? Skeleton bodies. So see the next line. On their slag heap, these children where skin peep through by bones. Slag heap refers to waste. Maximum of the slums are close to the places where people throw their garbage. People clean that area and start making temporary homes, and then they start living there. So they live on waste. Maximum of them are rat pickers. They live on waste and their life gets wasted. That's why this slag heap refers to, it is written that their slag heap. That means this heap of garbage belongs to them. So on their slag heap, these children were skin peeped through by bones. They are so thin that the bones peep out of their skin. They look like skeleton bodies. Just like students, if you have seen the wiry framework of spectacles, it's what? The framework of a spectacle. Similarly, their bodies also look like a whole complete bony skeleton is there on which a layer of skin is there, and their bones peep out of their skin. They look like skeleton bodies, and Spender says that they look like spectacles of steel. There is a metaphor here, spectacles of steel, very bony framework. But at the same time, there is a bitter comment on the government in the form of spectacles of steel. Has the government put spectacles of steel that the government is not able to see their condition? Can the government not see that the poor children are so emaciated, so skinny? The reason they don't get proper food to eat. So on their slag heap, these children wear skin peep through by bones. They wear a skin and in which the bones, from which the bones peep out. So spectacles of steel with wiry framework, it has been mentioned here. So here it's written in the next line, with mended glass like bottle bits on stones. It seems as though that their life has got some cracks. Like if I say we have a glass and this glass breaks from one side. However hard we wish to join, yes, it can join with the help of many glues that are available. But even though we join, we can see the mark. Glass can never be proper as it was there earlier. So here, spectacles of steel with mended glass like bottle bits on stones. Like bottle bits on stones, simile. You throw a glass bottle on a stone. It will shatter. Even if you join it, you will see those marks there. What is the meaning here? These people work very hard that their life becomes proper like glass, but that never happens. Those cracks and marks can be seen. That means that they want to get life shown here. They don't get this life. They get a very bad and cunning life where they wriggle like worms. Their life begins from darkness, ends in darkness, and at the same time it is shattered like bottle bits on stones. They can never make their life proper. Is Pender becoming too much pessimistic? No, that's the reality of a slum. The children are so thin. So this point can be added for the answer in the first stanza, describe the slum children. We'll write that they look like skeleton bodies, their bones peep out of their skin. So, like bottle bits on stone with mended glass, it's written here, as though the glass is mended, the marks are still there. So with mended glass like bottle bits on stones, all of their time and space are foggy slum. All of their time and space. What is their world? Slum. And that slum is foggy, it's dark. So all of their time and space are foggy slum. The reason? Even if they come out of the slum, where do they have to go back? To the same slum. It is their world. So if people say that when the Spender is misinterpreted here, that the children can never come out of the slum, they come out. But where are they forced to go back? They are forced to go back to the same slum. So what is their whole time and space, their world? Slum, and that too the slums are foggy. And see the last line that is there. So blot their maps with slums as big as doom, death. And what are slums? Slums are stains on the society, blots on the society. We say dhabbe. These are stains on the society. If you see the world map, a slum is there, and that slum is like an ugly stain which is not shown but which is there every time. Slums are never shown on the world map because they are illegal settlements, but are they present? Yes. So what are slums? Slums are ugly stains on the society. They are as big as death. That means they can never be removed. However hard many governments have tried, but they have failed. Some of them not even try that slums should be removed. From their side, they give them the voter IDs and they have a vote bank there. So this is the reality of the slum. Life in a slum is as bad as death. We say they wriggle like worms. And what are slums? They are stains on the world map. They are stains on the society. They are never shown, but they are always present. Now this is the reality. This is the living condition. Now what should be done for them? What is done? Yes, people go to the slum school. Do they go? Yes. Many people, like if they have to give donations, they go there. So does the society go there? Yes, to give donations. Does the government go there? Yes, to see whether the NGO is working properly or not. But do they care for for bringing or upliftment of the children? They never care to uplift the children. So what happens when these three people come? This is the reality, and you have to note it very carefully. Unless governor, inspector, visitor, this map becomes their window. That day, when governor comes, when inspector comes for the inspection of the school, when the visitor comes to donate money, that day, very practical and very good education goes on in the class. That day it happens, the world map becomes a real world for them. They also think, yes, we are a part of this world. That day, everything goes on in this classroom very well. But Spender says something else. Unless governor, inspector, visitor, this map becomes their window. That day, this world map which is hanging in the class becomes a window for these children. They say, okay, this is the whole world. This is our world. Actual world is what? Their classroom window, what they see from the window. We have done in stanza 2. What they see from the window, their slum. That is their world. But that day, the whole world map becomes their world. Then Spender says something here. These windows that shut upon their lives like catacombs. Spender says that it is a mistake of these windows that they are showing them the wrong view. What do the windows tell them? This is your world. What do you see from the windows? The slum. This is your world. Actually, he says it's a mistake of these windows. They are showing them the wrong view. The correct view is what? Slum is not their world. The whole world belongs to these slum children. Why are they forced to go back? Because these windows are the social boundaries. So in fact, windows represent here what? They represent the social boundaries which have in fact differentiated between the normal world and the slum world. No person from the normal world wants to go into the slum. When a person from slum comes out, he is supposed to go back. So what are these windows? Windows are the social boundaries. So what does Spender says here? See the last four very optimistic and very good lines. Break open. He says break these social boundaries. Break, it doesn't mean that he wants that the windows should be broken. He says that the social boundaries should be open. Now break, it's repetition. Break, invocation. He's calling somebody. Whom is he calling? He's calling the society and the government. And three people have been mentioned here. Governor, inspector, visitor. Governor and inspector from the side of the government. Visitor from the side of the society. These two. He's calling these two. Break. Come, break those windows. Windows means break the social boundaries. Break open till they break the town. Who are these they? The slum children. Let them break the town. Breaking the town means let them come out of the slum. Let them come out of this town. Let them go anywhere. Why do you tell them that this slum is their world? The whole world belongs to them. So break open till they break the town and show the children green fields. Take them close to nature. Why do you hang the picture of Tyrolese Valley and explain them the beauty of nature? Take them close to nature because in their world there is no nature. So far from riverscapes, you remember? So here, take the children to green fields. Run azure on gold sands. Azure means blue color. That means under the blue sky. Let them run freely on the gold sands. Gold sands, the sea beaches. Let them run freely there. Then give them what? Books. So see here, run azure on gold sands. Let their tongues run naked into books. Give them real practical education. What are you giving them? Elementary education. Will this education ever help them? No. Give them real education. Give them practical education. So run azure on gold sands. Let their tongues run naked into books. Give them real practical education. And if this is done, what will happen? See the last second line. It says that the white and the green leaves open. White leaves? Paper. Metaphor. That means books, white leaves. Let them run, let them read the books properly. Practical education, real education. Green leaves, nature. It said no, nature is the best teacher. But here there is no metaphor. Green leaves refers to nature only. So the white and the green leaves open. If they are given practical education, if they are taken close to nature, automatically their life would become better. And see the last optimistic lines, history theirs whose language is the sun. Can these people create history? Yes. If they are given sun, sign of light and knowledge, give them knowledge. These people will also create history. The best example is of those super 30. We say those children who are picked up from the very backward sections of the society. And what happens is they are helped to get a better life. So can education change their lives? Yes. So these children are like uncut diamonds which is taken from a coal mine, which doesn't sparkle and shine unless it is given a proper cut. So these children, if they are given proper education, these can also create history. So the poem ends with very optimistic lines, history theirs whose language is the sun. These children can also create history if they are given proper education. So education is the only thing which can change their lives. So Spender here in this poem banks upon one thing. Don't give them elementary education. Don't give them education for a formality. Give them proper and real education, and these children will sparkle like diamonds. So this is the end of the poem. We have done all 4 stanzas. The first stanza showing the slum children, the second stanza showing their classroom, the third stanza depicting their living condition, and the fourth stanza what is done and what should be done for these slum children. They should be given real and practical education. Thank you.